Preview. Servicol Sistemas, nuevo sponsor de este canal. Servicol Sistemas, no solo diferentes, somos mejores. Servicol Sistemas, nuevo sponsor de este canal. Servicol Sistemas, no solo diferentes, somos mejores. Servicol Sistemas, nuevo sponsor de este canal. Servicol Sistemas, no solo diferentes, somos mejores.
Between Ukraine and Russia. Warthog Defense reported about the Ukrainian bridgehead over the Dnipro River at Kherson. Now Ukrainian sources report that the army is advancing on the city of Oleshky. There are active battles. Russian troops were knocked out from one strong point. Russian sources report the advance is under artillery and mortar fire and is faltering. The fighting seems to have intensified as Ukrainian reinforcements are brought into the foothold. Is it still a reconnaissance in force which at some point could change into a bigger force? Either way, it seems to have reached a level of risk for the Russians in which it will serve its intended purpose. And this is the footage from the 31st Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces in the settlement of Rivnopil, which Russian forces reportedly withdrew from yesterday, after which it was liberated by Ukrainian troops. In the video they state, "The orcs are fleeing. We are moving forward. Glory to Ukraine." The second birthday in front looks like this. Soldiers from the State Border Service almost hit an anti-tank mine. Luckily, they saw the explosive device in time. And let's see why the Russian army have so bad performance in Ukraine. A retired Russian tank battalion commander has given a frank interview about the rampant corruption that he says has led to the complete collapse of the Russian army in the last 16 years. His comments highlight how the army has rotted from within during the Putin era. Rozhkov, a St. Petersburger, served for 15 years and resigned from the army at the age of 36 shortly before the Ukraine war began. He says he decided that he did not want to degrade further in this system and has since been avoiding mobilization orders. Rozhkov blames many of the problems on the military reforms begun in the 2000s under then Defense Minister Anatoly Serdyukov. At that time, the mandatory length of service for conscripts was reduced from 2 years to 1 year. According to Rozhkov, this was disastrous. When the Russian army began to serve for 1 year, we practically lost a whole chain of junior commanders. Because with the 2-year service, during the first year, the newcomers were taught some things related to technical specialities by the older servicemen. No one has even taught them anything close to military training. As a result of the corruption, he says, Russia's colonels and lieutenant colonels are largely useless. Rozhkov says they would be in absolutely no demand in civilian life and are employed in the army as metaphorical barrier openers. Tank training was also routinely faked. Crews are supposed to do a certain amount of hours in their tanks. But Rozhkov says that this was faked by winding up the tanks to ensure the instruments showed the mandated amount of mileage. Money for maintenance was routinely stolen, requiring junior officers to make so-called voluntary compulsory contributions from their own salaries to make up the shortfall, part of a phenomenon known as officer slavery. Well, it's no wonder Russian army sucks in Ukraine. Zelensky. Today I have the honor to be with our heroes, the units of the armed forces of Ukraine of the Kortitsia Operational and Strategic Group of Troops. To thank them, award them and shake their hands. I wish you health and only victory. Ukraine is proud of each of you. You are great, strong, our true Ukrainians.
Великий вклад в майбутню перемогу зробите саме ви. Слава Україні!
Ukrainian soldiers saved not only cats and dogs, the story of the rescue of the fox Loki from the first days.
Красота. С товарищем вот спасли. Яму проводил соперники маленький. Будем откармливать, отпаивать.
Настоящий варф, будущий, только
Да.
рыжий.
Чтобы он не куснул, и в идеале его помыть хорошо.
Не, мыть не надо.
Чего?
Одомашнему.
Ну,
Мы его потом отпустим, понял?
А.
Потому что он одомашнится.
Так
его
может
потом-
заберем с собой, будем возить его за собой.
Ну, посмотрим по ходу событий. Понял?
Аж-
Если нормально себя будет вести,
Да.
Булочка.
А так
А как, он как не реагирует, да?
вообще, уникально.
Вообще похуй. Просто поебать. Чеши.
Маленький. Привет, мой хороший. Привет. Булка, ты звезда.
писок покажи, как красиво.
Эй, малыш. Ой-ой-ой-ой. Ебать, он прикольный.
Хто дасть більшу суму, коли піде до лісенок прийде жити.
Даю. Петлюха, даю.
Противника. Все, виконувати наказ негайно.
Si no puedes aportar económicamente al canal, suscríbete, comenta y comparte, esto ayudará mucho a seguir informando.